It's late, well, not too late, but the sun's going down earlier now. And it's cold out. Mother Nature, the cruel mistress that she is, dropped the temperature on us like a ton of bricks. I swear, just last week, it was 29, feels like 30. Well, maybe not, but right now it's getting rather cold. I'm in Celsius, by the way. So what's it like outside? 12, 15, 16, 17? Either way, brr. I like it hot. But that's okay. We have lots of light now, and we have heat because the electrical system is working. Final inspection's coming Friday, and in the meantime, I have a few other adjustments I would like to make. One of them being the fan. So I have this guy now. It is a speed controller, and it works well, except for the caveat that it's noisy. Here, check this out. The guts were hanging out, so I have the power turned off to this circuit, but turn that on. And if you just turn the knob normally, it goes straight to full power. But as I turn it, it goes lower and lower and lower. So I can bring the fan down to a dull roar. But do you hear that noise? A lot of hum from that motor that I don't know if it can be helped. My audiophile ears detect resonance of this metal structure, and I guess the fact that it's bolted to the wall doesn't help. But either way, it creates a nice gentle breeze. Tone it down a bit because this thing rips at full power. So I'm going to be permanizing that configuration. However, there is something else that I want to do. As you know, I pulled that fan off another shed, and I had this humidity sensor in there. Not sure how well it works. I don't think it turned on the fan once in the entire time it's been in there. I guess the ventilation is just good enough. Humidity wasn't a problem. I'm gonna add it to this setup while I'm redoing this because I feel that this room gets a little bit more humid than I would expect it to. It felt like in the summer there when I was in here and maybe it was raining. I don't know. What it does have is a 20-minute timer. Well, you can set it to different settings, but it does 20 minutes. It's set to 20 minutes right now. So at any point in time, I can just give that a little bop and it's gonna run the fan for 20 minutes. So if I need to ventilate and walk away, I can do that. 20 minutes probably gonna clear out this room anywhere, no matter what's going on. So power's off, yes. Gotta pull all this apart because this isn't going here like this. And in fact, we're gonna be adding a whole nother box to this setup. Because I'm fitting in two rather chunky devices, I got the stove plug style box here and a general dual gang adapter for it. This is gonna give me the room that I need to pack all this into this circuit because those things, they're very hard to fit into these standard 4-inch boxes. These are what, 4 11/16 they call them. So mounting it, it's gonna go somewhere right next to this in this general area. And the good news is it looks like, this box is warped, bud. Wait, why is that box warped like that? Is this conduit pushing on it? I feel like I wanna give this one electrical supply company I'm dealing with, really good, really great prices. The quality of the components is a bit off though. Some new Canadian company I never heard of. Where's that double Decora deal? I should bolt this on. So I'm feeling like because this thing goes relatively flush to the edge, we might just be able to straight up chase nipple these together and there'll be enough clearance for everything. What do you think? Otherwise, there are other options. Where are they? They're all crammed in my pocket. There's this little offset dealer, which might position it a little bit proud, but that might look cool. If you haven't noticed already, I tend to be a bit artistic in how I do this. I like stuff to look a little absurd sometimes. I also have, that's chapstick. This old used just straight pipe. I would put it out there a bit. Yeah, there's shorter nipples you can get. Well, maybe I can offset this guy down and then it's like not sitting too out in the open. Okay, I think I've determined at the very least which hole I want to punch out. So let's go ahead and do that. Oh, forgot the punch outs in these boxes are like butter. Yeah, look at that. So let's see what it'd be like with straight chase nipple. Something like that. Let's tuck these wires in, tuck this whole apparatus in, get a look at that all together. You know what? Because of how half-cocked and how not nice this guy sits, we have a situation where with the straight chase nipple, this thing's gonna sit all wonky too. So no, I'm not digging on the chase nipple. Even though that's convenient because it means I have to extend the wires less. Let's try our offset. Offset up. I like how it fills this empty space here. Seems right. What happens if I offset down? It makes this look more hollow. So far I'm liking offset up. However, the jumper wire is no longer gonna pass through. Yeah, I'm gonna have to start doing some retting. How about the fan? Okay, the fan return wire doesn't have to go there. I'm still gonna have a switch here. I'll explain later. Okay, so I'm digging offset up for its overall uniformity. If I really don't like it, I can change it later. It's gonna be using the same hole, and adjusting a position of a box isn't a code issue. There's a lot of things you can do without an inspection and all that stuff. Assuming the circuit already exists and it's already inspected, it's already good to go. Oh, nuisance. Really? Just don't wanna go? Wow, this is fun. Yeah, it's just generally right there, I think. Ow, where's my 1/2-inch spanner? Oh boy. Well, it's gotta be in here, right? Yeah, there it is. So I'm gonna snug these up just to say they're cozy. Okay, kind of skipping on the pre-drilling here. Am I able to check level on this thing? Right there. Give me a screw. Now I start leveling things. Close enough. Where'd the other screw go? It's come to my attention that the slight gap that I have around the heater makes an excellent debris pit. Okay, I'm pretty confident that's not going anywhere now. Except I am gonna loose up these nuts so that I can reseat this based on the new fixed geometry. Yeah, that's fine. These things, these guys work really friggin' well when you can access the nut. And there's room. If there's no room, you're SOL. All right, so now we get to install the individual components. Here is a spare piece of 14 gauge black wire. And we're gonna have to meret to this guy. Oh, I have a surplus of these yellow merets. I prefer the blue ones, but I'm sure yellow will do. All right, so that's some form of main power into this box. What? We do, however, need some form of return. And I need another 3-way switch. Do I have one on file here? Or did I bring them all in and put them all away? Oh boy. No, no more 3-way switches. Okay, I'm gonna have to run inside. Like I need to tell you that. I'll just snap my fingers and be back. So basically, we're gonna have 2 different fan controls, and I don't just wanna hook them up in parallel. That could do damage, maybe. Like, I know the little the timer and humidity sensor has a relay in it, so it can run parallel to another switch with no affectations, but the speed controller, I don't know. If that speed controller is dialed in a certain way and has power feeding to the other side of it, I don't want these 2 controls conflicting with each other. Either way is the point. So, there's gonna be a 3-way switch here that's gonna select between automatic and manual control. Manual being the fan speed controller, automatic being the timer and moisture meter. So I get to feed a wire in here to this switch and kind of pulling this out of the way. It's a very simple act. Hey, one of them's looped already. That's convenient. Let's just go ahead and throw it on there. Can't remember the last time I charged this screwdriver. So the black screw is the common, and it switches between the 2 brass screws. So this piece of wire I got feeding in here, it's connected to the 2 brass screws. That's gonna be the return from the 2 controls. By the way, I don't even know if this is gonna pass. There isn't really provisions in the codebook for using a 3-way switch as a selector from 2 other switches. But then it's a rarer occurrence, right? And then finally, the wire that goes out to the fan itself is going on to the common screw. And now I have to do the thing where I break the wings off. And then I have to pull off the stock screws here because we're not going to need them anymore. I wish I knew which way was going to be up and which way was going to be down. It's a thing where this time I will maybe remember to actually rotate the switch instead of rewire it. I can't tell you how many times I set up a 3-way switch and I'm like, oh, I want this position to be this function or this position to be the other function. And instead of just rotating the switch, I would actually take the wires off the screws. All right, now I got to tuck this all back in there again. All right, so now this is our return loop. We're gonna give her a snip. Then we're gonna give it a strippy strip. And then, you know what? Based on what I just said about figuring out the orientation of the switch, I'm gonna zoom in this camera. How's this framing? Oh, this framing's good. Where was I? Based on what I said about figuring out the orientation of the switch, I'm gonna make this wire hot. And then I'm gonna touch it to this wire and see that the fan does not come on. Now I'm gonna switch this down and I'm gonna see the fan does come on. So this wire is on the uppermost position. Now let's turn this circuit back off. By the way, don't do this at home because safety. I'm a trained professional. Not a trained professional electrician though. I'm still a trained professional. I'm gonna mark this up wire as black. Now can we remember that wire or black is the up position? All I have to do is remember that black wire, or no, hold on here. Black is the down position. Okay, I want black to be the speed controller. All right, where are we going here? Now, because this pupper's so long, I'm gonna do once again my classic mid strip. Look at that, this is a really great technique. Takes no time at all once you get used to it and you have an appropriate hook knife. So, how does this work again? Black, white, and red. Red is the output. So we're gonna stack our loop on the black line screw. Now that's on there. Oh, I forgot something. This control switch needs a neutral. That means I have to pipe neutral to the board. Here I was thinking this was gonna be a quick in and out. No, I gotta pipe neutral through. Okay, well, things just got more complicated, but not that complicated. That's cruel. While you weren't paying attention, I fixed the fitment issue with the door. I filed one of these holes bigger so it lined it up, so taking this on and off isn't that big of a deal now. That was one of the repairs. I don't know if I told you, but I had to fix these holes. This thing only came with 2 screws and they sucked. So I actually rethreaded these holes for a screw that I commonly had in stock. There's like literally only 1 wire going into this box. But even that doesn't mean we have to take this back out. Let's see if we can just fishy fish this through there. Oh yeah, in one hole, out the other. Oh, there's our neutral. All right, let's get her on a lug. Sometimes I wish I could just cheat because I know if I ground out this neutral connection, it'll work and it'll consume so little power that it's not really a concern. All right, we have neutral now. Might as well shuck this back up into place. Be nice if I put the screws closer to me. Ah, well. You know, there's other things I need to do in the box. Like I would think to do them while I'm in there. I'm gonna say it's nice and toasty in here. Neutral passing through. Oh boy, this, I do not like the fit of this thing. It's like, make up your mind, bud. Are you gonna fit poorly or fit well? It just like bent over. Like bend over the whole thing. I wouldn't mind if you went like completely covered up. WTF, mate. It's still gonna fit. Whatever, it's good. All right, back to our regularly scheduled program. We have a neutral control now. Or not a neutral control, but a neutral for the control. And that's just gonna back wire right onto the white. And then the return from this is gonna be switching upwards. That's gonna be the not labeled wire. That'll back wire onto the red. In theory, that thing's hooked up now. I'm gonna trim back this black wire. Make it nice and fresh to take a Murray. Oh boy, my strippers are out of calibration. How did that happen? Where's my fan controller? Now the fan controller has a loose ground wire, which we don't need because it's grounded via conduit, grounded via the whole enclosure and situation. And it shows no real bias as to which one's in and which one's out. The manual kind of hints at it though. The manual suggests that the lonely one is in and the one combined with the ground wire is out. The orange morays are ideal when you're putting a piece of tiny stranded wire onto an individual piece of solid 14. So now this is relatively safe. Let's test it. So in the up position, if I press this timer button, there the fan goes. There it goes off. But if I turn this, nothing. Flick down to manual. And now we have our fan speed control. So now we have to do some fitness. As in fitness all in here. So I've already determined I want it to sit like that, so we'll just power puff these puppers through this ring. I gotta go get a bunch of screws. Lots of screws. Lots of screws for this. Tons, bud. All sorts. We'll start with one and work our way up. Not too tight because we still have to fit a plate on there. Well, of course you freaking went wonky on me at the last minute. That one didn't go in nice, but that's the reason why I keep a 632 tap in my tech kit, because that happens. I know, electricians do it all the time. I have to fix it. Oh, there's an adapter plate that I need to put on there. Oh, of course it's right here. Because this guy's going double Decora, I need to adapt that non-Decora. Oh boy, screws everywhere. I have to adapt it to be able to take a Decora, so I need to piggyback that on there. Oh, looks like it's gonna be fun to align this all up. Well, let's try just putting them dead center. Why is that snapping all over? There is something like being sticky wicky. Oh, is it this damn label? Just kind of shove them around here. Come on. Top one's a bit too tight. Get that nice and center. Now let's see if our plate's gonna fit over top of that. Sometimes whenever you have a multi-gang plate, you gotta really fuss with the alignment. You start getting some stacked tolerances. No, that looks like that'll do just fine. Except we might have trouble getting screws into here because there's no relief. That's great. That means in order to do this properly, we have to drill relief into the fan speed controller. All right, another curveball. That's okay. Curveballs are my specialty. Precision finish fitting. So, pull the screw back out all the way. Can we just move this aside without breaking it? So the problem is, if you can see here where that dot is, a screw has to go through this plate to bolt the plate on. It's gonna bottom out against here. So unless I put a little hole in there, it's gonna be crappy. You know, I maybe didn't need that adapter plate because it just occurred to me, I have a 632 tap. Not only can I drill out that hole, but I can make it take the screw. Oh, hindsight's always 20/20. It sucks because that stupid little piece of plastic is like $6. Maybe I should return on that thing. No, I'm not that kind of guy. I've already opened the package. Unless it really is not doing it for me for some reason. Oh yeah, that's center. That's totally center. Not. I think it's consistent with where I piloted the hole though. Thanks, Obama. Try to do better next time, bud. Oh boy, that hole walked like Pantera. Remember kids, this is me half-assing things. I can do better. Fortunately, this is just aluminum, so it's not that hard to work on. Where's the 632 tap? I thought I had it in here. Oh great, I brought it and left it in the house, didn't I? Of course you did, bud. You didn't think you were gonna need it. No, there it is right there. So, might as well tap it. Again, aluminum, in like Flynn, and done for fun. Just gotta deburr these holes. All right. Now I don't even want to put the adapter plate on now that I know I don't need it. Damn, that's a waste of money. I could probably use it for something else. Now if I put the Decora plate directly over this, oh look, I'll still be able to access the fine tune. Yeah, you know what? Screw the adapter plate. Wasted $6. It'll do. All right, bud, let's cap that ground so that it's not loose everywhere. Should just be a case of schlepping her in there. Should be plenty of room with this adapter plate. Just like that, yeah. All right. So this is effectively complete enough. So if we go ahead and switch the power back on. Here, let's give you guys a little view. Don't you just love synchronized views? Oh, it has a knob, right? Oh, of course that doesn't work. That would be this position. Ah, good. It works as intended. Let's just go ahead and put in the crystals. Putting on the plates is just a touch nerve-wracking because if you slip, you scratch the plate. See, like that. Oh, not that this is a terribly aesthetic install. All these Decora screws are bottoming out. That's funny. Let's see how my holes did, the holes that I made. Oh, my holes work perfect, bud. Except for subtle alignment issues. Gotta loosen that up to get this one in. Oh, the stupid plate at the back doesn't let these things go all the way in. I gotta force them. And they're gonna sit stupid. All right, well that one's on. That one's on. That one's good enough. This one's all friggin' wonked out. Just couldn't be perfect, but it's done now. All right. That's it for this.